phenomenal human being. The world is a sadder place that he's not a part of it, but it's a luckier place that he was, because he's just changed my life, without a doubt.
Yeah.
The power of a good teacher, Mark.
Mark's not a teacher, he's a gym coach, okay?
We can edit that part out.
Those that can't do teach, and those that can't teach gym.
I just picture Mark is about to pick up the baseball bat chilling over there.
Who's Jim? I don't coach a gym. I don't know gym.
Teach you some of my skills.
So we're on 4.
Nothing to say that hasn't passed this way before.
Barbacoa. I remember this one.
Oh,
This one is-
4. Los Calientes and Barbacoa. Yeah, there we go. Hey, cheers.
Oh, no. I think we're on Barbacoa.
It's barbacoa.
Oh, thank you, Mark.
You're welcome.
I don't know, where are these wings from?
It's Pizza Graham Plus. You can go with it.
Shout out Pizza Grand Plus. Pizza Grand Plus.
I have to get so many fucking pictures for Pascal now. It's unbelievable. How many pictures I have to provide this man?
Pizza Grand Plus.
Whatever you say, he has to edit. I want like lasers coming across, shooting these wings, and then they blow up.
And there's a shark.
And there's a shark in it.
Oh, there's a shark.
Really upping the production value here. You were always kind of in a lot of bands growing up.
Mm-hmm.
You were always pretty musically talented.
I appreciate that.
Did you have to practice at singing, or did that kind of come naturally to you?
I mean, anybody can sing. I never took lessons, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, but then did you ever have to like practice at home, or in
my car. But it was mostly just like,
to Natalie and Bruglia?
I mean, hey, Torn is a really great song. It's not repetitive at all. It's great. That's why she had so many hits after that. Yeah, Natalie and Bruglia. Here's a name drop. But I never really, no. The one thing I did have to do, so for those unaware, some of what the music we did was more on the heavy metal, hardcore side of some things. So like I had to practice longevity, like because there were some screaming aspects to some of our music, and I couldn't. It's very easy to just do that one big one and then just burn out. So you had to figure out, okay, how do I make this not burn out after 2 seconds? How can I go for 45 minutes? Like, how can I make this, last? And so there was that, but the things I had to work on was like vibrato. Vibrato's hard. I never was very good at it, but I always wanted to be. So learning how to loosen the vocal cords enough that they would, vibrate rhythmically. And then I was always I wanted to be a little bit inventive, so I wasn't just trying to straight up sing. So I would like trill my R's in some parts, and I would have like different like vocal sounds and sound effects that I would try to do. But
like a bullhorn into the mic.
I would do that. I was never trying to rip off Scott Weiland from Stone Temple Pilots, but looking back, it kind of was unconsciously. But no, I never did lessons. It was just fun. But my favorite part of the band was always just like I was hanging out with some of my best friends. Like that's all it was. And I would never want to go play an open mic by myself. Like that just sounds like a nightmare. So
let me hear, since you did hardcore then, let me hear your best pig squeal.
My best pig squeal?
Yeah.
Like a suey?
No, like like metal music, like a squeal.
A pig squeal is what you consider metal music? Oh, I can't even do it anymore, man. Like,
come on, give it a shot.
No. No, I'm not.
Give me like a growl.
I'm looking at Mark's neighbor right there.
He wants you to do it.
It's a she, and no, I don't want to frighten her and lower Mark's property value.
Stuff.
However, if Pascal wants to pull up the middle of a song called the end of a song called New Moon by Karma's Army. New Moon by Karma's Army. Look at the last 60 seconds of that. Feel free to pull up an audio clip. There it is.
Off Spotify? Are we allowed to play it?
No, but that was incredible. Looking back, yes, I'm extremely proud of it because it's like.
Are we going to get copyright strike from it?
No, this is directly from the source, copyright free. Go ahead.
Sick, dude. Thanks, Karma's Army.
I got you, bro.
Thanks, cows.
This guy also is the officially the only one of my family members that ever came to one of our shows, was in the middle of a mosh pit, requested a song, and we played it for him.
I did. It was a good song. It's one of my favorites. It's
Brendan's
not
like 15 years old.
It's not on Spotify.
Mashed.
The song's not on Spotify.
No, that was an early deep cut you requested. It was like, that was one of our first songs.
It's one of my favorite ones.
Brendan's like, release. So we're like, smash. It's like, all right, this one goes out to my cousin.
And then he whipped out a bullhorn and just shouted into it for 20 minutes.
More or less.
Called it art.
It was art. It was a think piece.
I don't know if that's what it was.
What makes you think?
Yeah, it does make you think.
And it breaks the peace.
I don't know what that means.
What's no longer peaceful? You can take all this shit.
Oh, P-E-A-C-E. Not like...
now
like
you
a-
see what I did there.
Not like a piece, like a, like a gat.
Yeah.
Okay, I get what you're putting down now.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on. This is Power Jab, number 5. So this is going
Why'd
from...
you touch my wing first?
No reason.
You were trying to reach for it, and then you're like, no, I want the flats.
Of course I want to flag. Instantly hotter. I got a big dab of it. This is spicy, and I don't enjoy it already.
It's significantly more.
Mm-hmm.
It's not unpleasant. This isn't, it tastes nice.
It's noticeably hot.
Significantly hotter. Not in a bad way. Yeah.
So, I guess kind of in that same vein musically, who do you think your biggest inspiration was, musically speaking?
Probably, as the band, like Karma's Army, probably the Deftones. Huge fan of Chino Moreno, just as a lyricist and a frontman. Notoriously, 90% of the time, if you saw the Deftones, they were terrible. And then 10% of the time, they would be the best band you ever saw. And I had one of the best. I went to a small club and saw them, and that was legitimately one of the best shows I ever saw, and they were amazing that night. So probably that. But I was like, I also really love like Oscar Peterson in terms of just the chaos. He was a jazz pianist, he's amazing.
Jazz what?
Pianist, piano player.
Oh.
So coincidentally, Dr. Meaner, throwback to a question, whatever that was, introduced me to him. And then obviously grew up on the Beatles from my dad and my mom. And then, I don't know, my college years probably more like, I started really getting into like some more progressive rock, Pink Floyd, Humphreys McGee, and Queens of the Stone Age. Huge fan of Queens of the Stone Age. Love them.
And that all kind of molded into your music? Or you tried to kind of channel that same vibe?
Yeah, I mean, the first band I really like, I can remember playing air guitar to was Nirvana. I remember in my room specifically playing air guitar to something that was on the radio that was like In Bloom or something like that. But I also feel like Nirvana, Kurt Cobain was kind of a tough guy to get really into because he was very, if he didn't like the band or he didn't like the style of music, he was extremely negative about it. And because I was like idolizing Kurt Cobain, I was like, well, then they suck. And so because of that, it's like I feel like I missed out on a lot of potential music that I could have liked at a young age. So be careful what you listen to.
Or
Listen
to it and be careful of advice that is supplied to you.
That's true.
Form your own opinion.
There it is.
That one is hotter.
This is nice.
That's Dogfish Head. Recently purchased by Sam Adams. I say recently,
Really?
Probably within the past 5 years.
I didn't know that.
Purchased by Sam Adams, but they're able to still operate, kind of on their own. So Sam Adams, biggest independent brewery in the nation. And the Brewers of America will always kind of bump up. It's per barrel. How many barrels of beer produced a year?
Basically.
And Sam Adams will always be that threshold of a barrel. So they've always bumped it up to kind of what Sam Adams is producing.
Who owns the Yingling?
Yingling does. I think it's union owned, actually.
Oh, kind of the Green Bay Packers of the beer world.
Yeah.
Owned by the fans.
Oldest brewery in the U.S.
That's true.
So, yeah, that was just a fact. All right, let's move on. That's number 6.
Whiskey Smoked Ghost.
Smoked Ghost.
Cheers.
This is another big jump. This next one,
Yeah, this is going to be double. All right, great.
No, you can't go by just the Scoville. It's kind of a misleading number.
So far, sweet.
That feeling will go away.
Thank you to Brendan for the lunch, by the way.
No, thank you to Pizza Grand Plus.
Pizza Grand Plus. Shark! Wafers! Explosions. And a grandma. Wait, our grandma? Any grandma.
So you have 2 daughters.
We do.
You're outnumbered in that house severely.
Extremely.
What's it like having 2 daughters that are close to the same age? You know, it's I can see how you're getting one kind of, you know, you're getting one out of potty training while the other one, you know, then you have your second. So now you're like, oh, potty training.
That's kind of it. Yeah.
Potty training's behind us and all this stuff, you know, you're kind of.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're kind of able to be friends still, right?
Yes,
Kinda,
and that was part of the reason. So John and I, we hated each other forever, and that has never changed. No, it's I feel like I look at like Mark and Carrie and Scott, and I feel like you guys are close enough in age, or they're close enough in age where it's like, okay, you know, a couple years between them, you know, they can there's a certain camaraderie that can develop there versus like.
Definitely a hierarchy though too.
I mean,
Scott being number 3, it was never a Mark versus Carrie when Scott was young. It then probably transitioned directly into Scott or Mark to Carrie, and Carrie just turns and says, "This guy, let's go for Scotty."
There's a reason that Carrie is the instigator, but no, it's it's the greatest thing ever. Like, right? It's awesome. I love watching them start to figure out what they like and who they are, and I love watching them do that together. And Luna's a great older sister, and Willa's just hilarious. She's just so many. It surprises me how much of a mixture of Janae and I see in them, but I'm like really happy when I see things of me. You know, I'm like, oh, you're weird. Okay, this is gonna be okay. Yes, and that's one of the things I hope they hold on to. It's like I want them to become them, and I want them to become themselves, and I want them to explore all the things that they want to explore, and all the world has to offer, and be well-rounded people and accepting and open. But I want them to be weird. Like it's that Quackenbush kind of. I just want them to be. I want them to embrace that thing that makes them not everything else, and like it's fun. So I try to pepper in some of the music that like oh, you guys like this? If you want to hear this, you want to hear this. They're very much in Disney and show tunes and whatnot, and that's fine. But every once in a while I'm just like, hey, have you heard of Metallica? Hey, have you heard? They really love Veruca Salt. Shout out to the band Veruca Salt, by the way. The album Eight Arms to Hold You. Amazing album, came out in the 90s, and Luna and Willa love it, which makes me happy because I like that too. And if I can not listen to Let It Go and put on something off that record, I will do that every day of the week, and it's great. But yeah, it's amazing.
Awesome. So that's what, number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 4 left.
I'm not eating the blue cheese because my mouth is on fire, by the way, because it's really not so far. It's all right.
It's homemade blue cheese.
I make very good blue cheese.
You won't shut up.
They had the recipe earlier.
Oh, that's right. Remember, pin comment for that recipe. So, yeah, that's
What are we on, Ginger Goat?
We are. Yep.
Tropic Star. Reminds me of Star Tropics, which was a Nintendo game that I played a ton growing up. Not easy.
This one gets pretty hot.
Sizzling into the 7 spot with a blend of super hot chilies, Tropic Star will light up your taste buds. Yeah. Great.
But it's like a ginger or like a star fruit.
Yeah, you immediately hit with sweet.
But then
and now it's not sweet anymore.
Not sweet is definitely how I would describe this.
No. No, this is real. This is real. Still a tasty sauce, but if I ordered this at a wing place, I wouldn't be happy. At first.
You'd have to add a lot of butter or something to it, I think, because it's too hot.
All right.
Yeah.
This is real,
Yep.
but not bad. Still tasty.
Long-time Mets fan.
Big Mets fan.
Let's go Mets.
Let's go Mets.
What's kind of one of your favorite Mets memories?
Well, whenever anybody asks me, oh, you're married. How long have you been married for? I always make the joke. Janae, I know when we got married, but I always say, oh, 2015. That's when I got married and the Mets won the pennant. Like that's, so she's thrilled about that. But my favorite Mets memories, I mean, I love going to a game. Like we did in a couple games, have fun. It's a great time.
We're going to one later
this year.
Yep.
I loved Shea. Shea was a dump, but it was our dump.
Yeah.
It was our dump. But like my favorite memory, it was definitely 2015. Other than Johan Santana throwing the no-hitter, feel free to have a picture of Johan throwing the no-hitter. That's great. Other than that, oh, and they Mets broadcasters showed my Twitter feed on Mets broadcast during a game because they were talking about the no-hitter, and I said Janae and I were supposed to have a date night that night, but like she came walking in. We weren't doing anything like spectacular, going out for sushi or something, but she looked very pretty. She came walking to the living room, and it was a no-hitter in the 7th inning as we're about to leave. And she walks in and she sees me and she looks and she sees no hits and she goes, "Are we ordering pizza?" And I said, yes. And so the Mets asked, what's your favorite Johan Santana memory on like pre-broadcast? So I just tweeted out the story. I said, we're sitting at home, 7th inning, no hits, date night canceled, ordered a pizza, and been married a year. And they showed me my Twitter feed on the Mets broadcast, so I am somewhere in the annals of history for Mets. But no, my favorite Mets memory though was 2015. Janae and I were on our honeymoon, and we were in Patagonia in Chile, and we're laying in bed, and we had just like hiked all these places, and we had seen glaciers, and we went out and had amazing food and met great people. It was just a trip of a lifetime. It was unbelievable. Now we're laying in bed, and here's my phone next to the two of us, and we're both just sitting there streaming the Mets game when Daniel Murphy was hitting all those home runs in Los Angeles, and that was probably one of my favorite things, just because I've one of the happiest moments of my life with my wife.
One of the
happiest moments. Not the happiest, but one of my favorite Mets memory, certainly, just because the absurdity of it. I'm in Patagonia streaming the game, like.
You can't turn off.
No, and Janae's totally on board. Like
she's a gamer.
She knew all the players, all the stats. She knows more about baseball from a stat perspective than me, certainly. But yeah, that's my wife.
Nice. I love it.
She's awesome.
Let's go to the bomb.